Henry Graves Jr. was an avid collector of many things. His watches, though, I think they became a really big passion for him. He didn't just buy, he would say to Patek Philippe, design me the best. And in 1926, Patek Philippe embarked on a project to design the most complicated watch in the world, which was known as the Henry Graves Jr. Super Complication. He was very important in terms of what he meant to the watchmaking community in Switzerland. He brought a new focus to the Swiss, and he is credited for saving the Swiss watch industry during the Depression. Reginald Fullerton Jr. I had the privilege to know. He was a wonderful gentleman. He became interested in watches by spending a lot of time with his grandfather when he would be tinkering with his new purchases. Pete, as he was known, really did consider himself the custodian of the collection. He kept the nucleus of the collection, but built his own collection because he was his own person. 13 watches from Henry Graves Jr. are part of this collection. And this one is one of his earlier watches that Henry Graves purchased, and it won the first prize in the 1926 Geneva Observatory time trials. But more importantly, we've got a fantastic example of the family crest. And this is one of two pieces in the collection that have the crest. The other one, the most important minute-repeating wristwatch in private hands, also has the family crest. And this one actually is interesting because it chimes the hours, the quarters, and minutes. It's just lovely, the patina on it, very unusual. Another really interesting watch, and it's possibly the first repeating watch that Henry Graves Jr. bought. He started off buying it as a wedding present for his soon-to-be son-in-law, Pete Fullerton's father. And in fact, it has the Fullerton family crest on it. It's a trip minute repeater, which means that it has two trains as opposed to a slide, as we see here on the wristwatch. This is Pete Fullerton's first and most expensive watch that he purchased, and this has perpetual calendar, which means that it adjusts for leap year. It has these very elongated lugs, and then what they call the cubist dial, which are these numerals. So this kick-started his collection. Now what looks like a simple coin is two coins halved, and when we push the secret button, it reveals a watch. And as far as our research tells, this is probably the earliest known coin watch manufactured by Patek Philippe. This is a split-second chronograph wristwatch. A split-second chronograph is a stopwatch in a watch that in fact times two events, such as a horse race. It has these Arabic numerals, which are actually called Breguet numerals. From the late 80s, this is one of the watches that make up the Pete Fullerton part of the collection. And he favored perpetual calendars and had nearly every model. I think it was his way of paying homage to the Super Complication, which having the moon phase was such an integral part of it. Really, the Henry Graves craze only started after the Super Complication sold in 1999 for $11 million. To own something that Henry Graves Jr. had, or by default, his grandson, it's a huge collecting trophy in the watch world.